Hey there, friends. This is Editor Me coming to you from the future. Just before we get started with this episode, I had a few additional issues with my spectator footage. I'm going to continue to work on trying to figure out what exactly the problem is, but for the latter half of this episode, the spectator footage is basically a slideshow, so I got rid of it. Here's a little quick example of what that looks like. Anyway, I apologize for the technical difficulties. I'll work to fix it. And other than that, I hope you enjoy this week's episode. Thanks for tuning in. Hello and welcome back to another episode of No Suit Survival Europa. Thank you so much for tuning in to episode 2. So it's been a little while since I recorded, and I'm starting to realize that maybe I was a little bit ambitious with this build. So here, let me hop in the Evermore and I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about. Here's what I'm thinking. I like the general shape. I think it's going to come together and look pretty cool, but there were some key things that I don't think I was factoring in before. One of them is like before we even get anything going, we need to pressurize this thing. And so I haven't even built the walls or anything, so we still have a little ways to go before pressurization, which under normal circumstances might not be that big of a deal, but these aren't normal circumstances. One, obviously no spacesuit, so Reavers exist, and they will come for me before too long. And so I haven't piped up anything. I haven't built a defensive tower. I haven't done anything else like that. I mean, luckily we have the Mauler and its guns, and hopefully that will be enough for the time being. But we really need to be thinking forward about defenses rather than just adding it on later after something happens. Another thing that we got to think about is setting up our first ice mine, because we have a finite amount of hydrogen, and now every time we plug in the Evermore, we're using more of it, and we have no way of replenishing it right now. So that should be high on the priority list. And we also need to find some iron and some other resources, because everything that we have right now is non-replenishable until we start getting some stuff set up. So I'm just gonna slap some walls down and pressurize this place, so that way we have a starting point, and then we can worry about making the rest of it like cool and stuff later. Yes. I think the first thing I'm going to do is write all this stuff that I just talked about on the to-do list in the Mauler, so I just remember, and then we'll just cut to time-lapse building out the rest of this base. Alright, real fast, here's on the to-do list. Don't know if we're going to get all this stuff done today, but I'm going to do my best. So first, obviously, we need to pressurize the base. We just talked about that. Build defenses, start the hydrogen mine. I want to build a Europa equivalent of the turtles that we had on Helgen, and these will be our new utility ships. I'm thinking they might be a little bit bigger, so that way I can actually have like an internal compartment. So if I get out of the cockpit, I'm still in a pressurized location rather than just being outside and then dying if I accidentally press F or something. And then I want to turn the Evermore back into a fighter. The Evermore has a lot of its armor is already heavy armor, and just with the limitations that we kind of set on ourselves with having to keep that original battery and everything else, it would be better as a small fighter ship, because I don't need to have a bunch of cargo capacity. So yeah, and then obviously we need to find some ore so we can continue to produce and the factory will grow. That is on the docket for today, so let's get to it. Actually, before we get to it, let's stop over here and thank our patrons. Thank you, patrons. Your support is the reason we can keep this channel going. I greatly appreciate it. Alright, let's load up with some steel plates and get to building. So before we can get building, I forgot that the connector on the back of this thing is only for refilling the hydrogen tanks. Our cargo container is at the front. Yeah, so this is another reason why we need to build a utility ship. So let me do some maneuvering. All right, now we have a connector. so I can get cargo. Okay, now let's weld. So I just learned something that I thought I would share. So if you press the bracket keys, like next to the P key, you can switch the color of the block, which I think I knew that before. Yeah, but what I did just learn is if you hold control and you hit the bracket keys, you can actually change the skin as well. So if anyone else out there is trying to build out of a cockpit like I am and you can't press P to pull up the paint menu, just control brackets switches the skin, and then normal brackets will switch the color. Yeah, there we go. Okay, well, now I just need to finish welding up the last little bit, and then we'll have a box with a lot of extra steps. I mean, that's essentially what this is. The outside looks pretty cool, but the inside is pretty lackluster. So, but we can fix it. These things just take a little bit of time. Oh, and one other thing that I learned, well, let's see if it actually works, but I was watching some other space engineers YouTube content, and I learned a trick, and if it works, it's really gonna revolutionize the way we've been doing things. So, hopefully it works. Hold on. So previously, what I have been doing, if I'm trying to build something, the entire time I was on Helgen, if I wanted to use my welding ship, I would just grab whatever the thing was that I was trying to weld, and I would add it to my build queue, and then what I would do is I would just get out of my ship and then pull it into my personal inventory, and then alt middle mouse button, throw it into my ship's inventory. To get the benefit of the build queue, to gather all the components that I need, I made it go through my personal inventory every single time, and that took a while. But I watched somebody on YouTube, and they said if you add stuff to your build queue, which right now I have those 2 hangar doors, and then you just press this one. Are you kidding me? That's amazing. Yeah, so all you have to do is press this button, which makes me so frustrated because it's a button built into the game and it's right there and I've never used it once. But yeah, so if you're like me and you didn't know that that was a thing, that's a thing. So add stuff to your build planner, connect your ship to your main inventory source, press this button, and then it will automatically transfer all the components that you need for the things in your build planner. Man, I really wish I knew that earlier. You know what the sad thing about that is? I have thousands of hours in Space Engineers, and I just learned that. I don't really know how to take that, But all I know is I am pumped that that exists. Especially for this playthrough, that is going to be a huge benefit. For sure, let me know in the comments if I'm just dumb and everyone knew that, or if there are other people like me who didn't realize that that was a function. So the inside of the base should be airtight, but we can't really prove that right now because we don't have any oxygen to pump into it. So I think that the next thing that we're gonna do is I'm going to build a conveyor that comes out kind of next to this thing, and it will come over here. And this is where we will start our first ice mine. And then I'll slap down some, maybe like a cargo container over here, because this looks like a good spot for one anyway. And some H2O2 generators, and then we'll pipe it through, and then we'll start pressurizing the base, and then we should have a spot where we can work on stuff, and that is the plan right now. And hopefully by that time, it will be daytime, and we can work a little bit more on like painting this thing, because I don't want all of it, obviously, to be one color and the same skin. I even built it with the half slabs with the intention of painting the outside a different style than the inside. I'm just now realizing a problem with my plan. Power. I need power to run H2O2 generators, pistons, drills, and the whole shebang. And wind power on this planet does work, but it's not great. And solar power would work, but it's nighttime. So I think what we're gonna need to do is maybe put a hold on that and instead add a dock for the mauler. So that way we can pressurize the base and give it power and all that fun stuff. The only issue with that plan is that the mauler is significantly taller. Like the back of it is way taller than my base is currently. Yoke. So the prospect of me having to connect this ship to the base, make an airlock, and do all that nonsense was enough to drive me away from the game for a little bit. I did not want to have to do space chores anymore. So today is a new day, and my space chore meter has been refilled, and I think I have a new idea. It's the same idea, it's just I'm trying to be lazy about it. So instead of connecting with the big Zardo connector passage and trying to make it look good and be pressurized on both sides and all that nonsense, I think what I'll do instead, I really don't want to go out there, because if I go out there, I will perish. But at the bottom of that connector, just like at the top, there is conveyor access. And so if I just throw a conveyor and just have it go down, I can put a connector, and then we can just make it a little bit easier and just connect to the bottom. That way we can have power and we can pull our cargo into the base and stuff like that. So the way to make that happen is I'll probably just grab a grinder. You know what? I can stay outside for about 30 seconds. So I should be able to grind up into the ship, and then I can place the blocks and weld them. All right, we got one block. Okay. Honestly, we could just do one conveyor and then one connector, and that should be fine. I thought we grabbed all the components. I have been bamboozled. Did I accidentally grab the components for a small grid one? Oh, that's dumb. Okay, hold on. All right, locked. Okay. I am pumped to get the cargo and everything else like that somewhere other than in this ship, because pulling that move over and over again is not the most efficient use of fuel or time. Now we have a connector over here. Now we just gotta put one on the base. Somewhere that makes some sort of sense. Okay, if I'm being honest, I don't think that such a place exists. So we're just gonna have to make one. And I think that just with the way everything's set up, we got this thing jutting out over here. We have this other thing jutting out over here, which I would like to do something design-wise with. Well, I mean, I guess that could... No, I want to do something else with that. Then we have our garage entrance right there, so really the only reasonable thing to do would probably just be to put it in this wall. Alright, yeah, let's get to it. Dude, what is the deal, man? Why? I keep doing the thing where I grab the stuff, which is a very descriptive way of explaining what I've been doing, but I don't understand why it won't work. What am I missing? Are you kidding me? I had all the stuff. Ugh. Whoa. Why did I have it in my inventory? I don't know, but it's done now. Okay, So we should be able to fly this and dock it, and then we can gain access to the inside of this base. So yes, let us proceed. You know what? I guess while we're doing this, I should go ahead and install that, what did I call it earlier? My honesty gate or something. So that way when I open these or whatever, it's depressurized inside. I thought I put these the other way. That's not the way that I wanted them. I wanted the, like, stripy bits to be on the outside, not the inside. Well, I'm not going to change it now, because that would be ridiculous. But I also wish it was one more back, because now we have, like, a slot on the end. Yeah, this isn't the greatest positioning I've ever done in the world. Alright, I'm getting distracted. Don't get distracted. I'm going to connect the ship, and then it will be a lot easier to weld those up if I just use the conveyor ports to add a welder rather than having to bring this ship back and forth. I'll just, with a welder that's connected to the inventory. That is the plan. Stick to the plan. Also, just a side note before we move the ship, just in case any of you were wondering if it's easy to get around in here. No, it is not, especially when I dock it like this so that way I can get access to the welder. It is a nightmare. I have fallen through here so many times, and it's not like I can close this unless I park it backwards, but then I can't get access to the cargo. It's just a whole nightmare mess. And so what I try to do is I try to like come right here and grab that ladder, but it doesn't work. And so then I have to jump over here and get this ladder and hope I don't die. Yeah. So let this be a word of warning to anyone who thinks that this idea of a no-suit survival playthrough is a good one. I assure you it is not. Or I guess just build a better hangar than I did. Anyway, let's get going and lock. There we go. All right, now we're getting the benefit of the solar panels and all of our production on that base. So now I just gotta go inside, build the vent, and do all that. But with that being said, well, I guess I gotta use build vision to open those gates, because I don't really have a way of doing that easily right now. Let's just make sure I have the stuff that I need. So conveyor junctions and a vent. Ooh, actually, conveyor junction, vent, and then we need cargo access. So we should get a small cargo container. So I should have all the stuff in my own personal inventory, and then I also added the same stuff to the welding ship. So we shouldn't have any issues, but knowing me, that is not necessarily guaranteed. And then we can build a ship that's a little bit better suited for this than the Evermore. Not that the Evermore's done a bad job, it's just with the limitations that we put on ourselves, it's not the greatest. All right, we'll let those close. I'll regain some health, and then we will figure out which one of these blocks has a conveyor underneath it. It's not like my life depends on it. All right, let's play a little block roulette. It was not that one. I think it's this one. It is that one. Ah! No. Oh, come on. No. Oh my gosh. You know what's funny is I did not, until I got to about 20 health, think about the repercussions if I died and my only ship was in here behind a locked door with no way up. These are things that I should be thinking about, but alas, I did not. Okay, so I think that, yeah, what I should do is the first thing, I'll put a conveyor right here. Oh crap, because there's a little bit of scrap right there. Weld that up. Oh, do we not have enough steel plates? Dang it. All right, here's what I'm gonna do. First, first I'm gonna grab the, oh crap, my inventory's full. This is not going smoothly so far. Well, I can probably just throw, let's see, can I just, there we go. Rover cockpit. Let's throw some of this other stuff in the cockpit, like that, and that. Now let's try to grab the scrap. Oh, no. Oh, thank goodness. I don't know why right now everything feels like a crisis, but it does. Okay, so let's throw down a, I feel like it'd be smarter to do cargo container first. That way we have access and we don't have to go back out. So let's do that. Dude, I for sure grabbed all the crap that we need for that. I don't understand what I'm doing wrong. Okay. This will be so much easier when it's pressurized. Let's grind this. and well. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh. There's nothing I can do. There's no way.
Your health is critical.
Dang it. Oh. Oh. It does not have it. Even if it had a remote control on it, it wouldn't help because it's locked behind a door. Okay, let's get our tools back. Step 1. Dang it. Oh no, the ladder's too far away. You gotta be kidding me. Okay, maybe it might take me more than one try, but if I can do this. Dang it, I was so close. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna build a ramp so that way I can jump up as soon as I... Actually, you know what? Let me start with some steel plates so I don't have to pick up my thing first. Then build the ramp. Then get inside the ship. And then maybe go back outside, grab my tools. I don't need to do my own music.
Your health is low.
Oh, so close, so close. Dang it. Okay. All right. Okay. What do I do? Honestly, I think it's the same plan. I just need to make a half slope, like one of these. Okay. Wonder if going down here will give me an extra second of health. Nope, probably not, because the door. Come on, come on. Oh, come on. Maybe like that. Dang it. What do I do? Oh, do I just have to grind it? I mean, I don't know if I have the time. All right, let's try. Let's try grinding it, because nothing else has worked yet. Dang it. Oh, come on, dude. Yes! Oh. Woo! Okay. I am going to sit here for a second, regain some health, and then I will get my stuff back. Do I have... I don't have steel plates to make a ramp to get my stuff back. So, note to self, as I'm waiting here for my health to regain, when I build my utility ships that I'm going to be able to be inside, I want to have a survival kit inside, so I spawn in the ship if I die. Alright, I'm just gonna stick my nose really far down in here so I can get my tools back. These ones? Nope. Oh, wait, did I lose my tools? Not the end of the world, but it is a bummer. So, new plan. I just need to go back to the mauler, refill my health, grab all the components that I need, throw it in the ship. Stop trying to do this the dumb way, and start doing this the smart way. Well, turns out I need to open both of them if I'm gonna get out with the Evermore. Oh man, the struggle is real! Okie dokie. Let's grab components for some armor, throw that in there, and then grab some for the vent. Let's just grab a bunch of them because you never know with this shenanigans. And grab another conveyor. Alright, let's go back in the Cave of Death and let's try to figure this out. Oh, hallelujah. Okay, thank goodness. That was getting ridiculous. Okay, so now here's a fun and exciting question. Now what? Because this inside is pretty lame, and I am scared to do anything outside. Okay, here's what we need to do. We need to probably build a medical room in here. So if we die, we respawn in here. That seems like seems like a good idea. So for the time being, we'll throw it, that'll be out of the way enough. Let's just throw it over here. Okay, now we have a medical room in here. Sweet. So we should be able to paint the inside different than the outside. So I'm trying to think like what would be a fun thing to do. Maybe just clean? Would that be? Yeah, I don't know. Clean, I don't know if that's the way to go here because I feel like everything we've done up until this point has been pretty industrial looking. So I think that's too shiny. Should we just stick with the battered? We'll do like frozen on the outside and like battered on the inside. I just don't know. Yeah, I think for now we'll just do battered. Keep that industrial look going on, and we can figure out other stuff later. But yeah, I mean, we're gonna have like, we have all those like beam blocks and kind of want to do that orange color on the outside and all that stuff. So batter just seems to work. All right. Okay, here's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to set up a button and a sensor and a door. So that way we can open and close this just by coming in and out. And so that will make it easier for me to transition between the ship and here. Nope, changed my mind. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a cockpit that will be able to be pressurized, maybe this one. And then I'm going to put a piston and a hinge. I'll put a grinder on it, grind these off, get out really fast, place down the new ones, and then replace the grinder with a welder and then weld them back up. That's what I'm gonna do. After I reload the world because my spectator camera crashed, but luckily it recorded in MKV format. Shout out to the homies that taught me how to do that. And so we shouldn't have lost any footage. Okay, well, my spectator camera has crashed multiple times, so I'm just gonna do this little project the old-fashioned way, and then I'll restart my computer and troubleshoot, and hopefully we'll have it back up and running for whatever the next build is. But yeah, let's fix these and see what else we can get set up. But the unfortunate thing is that with this, I can't add the piston head, and I tried to do it at a different angle, so I might have to rethink how I'm gonna do that. I think the easiest way for me to do this would probably be to just add another hinge, and then you can do it like that. All right, then let's add some conveyors, or perhaps just a conveyor and then a grinder. Let's grab the stuff for this. All right, looks like everything's good. All right, I'm starting to realize a camera would probably be helpful in this situation. So let me, oh crap, I can't get in there. Actually, I might be able to, with my new understanding of how this game works, if I come in here and go like this, maybe I'll just put it right here. Oh, I thought I got rid of that overlay on the camera, but alas, I have not. Oh, good. We're getting the wall as well. Oh, we were only getting the wall. Nice. Is it just me, or does it not seem like it's actually grinding? Like, we have the animation. Is it just taking forever? Yes, yeah, it is just taking forever. There we go. Dang, man. Okay. Ooh, no. No, thank you. I am not doing great with directing this thing. It would have been easier if it was on a piston, but it wouldn't let me, so now we're here. Okay, well, that was a fun experiment. Let's turn it off and set these back to a good resting position, I guess, before we require the services again. Oh, what? I turned it off. No. Stop. Turn off. Why won't you turn off? Why are you... It's not listening to me. What is happening? Why won't it turn the grinder off? Well, that was real dumb. Okay, so now we have multiple large holes in the base. So let's try to fill those. So I'm gonna go get the Evermore. Quickly. Okay, so I was able to grind off those two pieces. Oh, I think we have to grind off that one as well. And then we have to add right here. All right, that should do it. So I'm gonna go grab some steel plates so I can just weld up the walls, and then we will switch out that grinder for a welder and then weld up the hangar doors. And yeah, that project should be done. I cannot adequately describe to you how, like, everything right now is just such a struggle. I did not foresee this being the case. I'm so glad I had the components for that. So now we should just be able to use the same technique as before and just close it. This has been like an ordeal, and all I'm trying to do is just move doors. Okay, in here, now we just wait. Okay, we are pressurized again, but I am actually going to depressurize again because I want to add in that extra door to open. So let me figure out where I want to put it. Honestly, I think I'll just put it right over here for sake of ease. Let's put it right there, which will be somewhat difficult because... Alright, let's just hope that I have the stuff. I probably don't. Wait, that's not my ship. I probably have the stuff in here for a door. So let's just come out here. Quickly. Okay. Let's heal up. Let's add door to the menu. All right, let's just do a sliding door and jump back in here and add it to the build planner. Jump in here, grab the components for it. Like that. Okay, jump back in here. All right, close the door. Oop. Oh, ooh, misclicked. Okay, now we're pressurizing the room again. What an ordeal. I think it's really starting to dawn on me right now, just like how badly I'm going to need to rely on things like welding arms and stuff. I'm probably going to have to learn how to use the MARM script. I think that's what it's called, right? The one where you can just use your mouse control, but it's kind of difficult to set up. Alrighty. Now that we are pressurized, I can probably get rid of this stuff, get access to that cargo again. So now that we have these welded, I just got rid of all that stuff. And let's figure this out, huh? So I think the first thing I'm probably going to want to do is set up a sensor for when I want to get in and out of here. And I would like it to be, I'm going to put it like this. And so I'll set up the sensor so it edges right here or as close to this as I can to sense small ships. So I know if I get my nose too close to that, it's going to start depressurizing. And I should probably have some sort of light. Actually, there's a script that I used one time. I forget which one it is, but there's a script where if you're depressurizing an airlock, you can set it up to change the lights. So you have it like normally be blue or something, and then when you're depressurizing, it's like flashing a color, and then it's red. Let me go look that up, because I think a solid airlock script is going to come in handy in this circumstance. Actually, probably in most circumstances, but specifically in this circumstance. Okay, so this is actually a different script than the one that I used before. I do think it's pretty cool, so I'm going to try it out. It's called the MGSS Airlock Script 2.0. I'll throw a link in the description. The reason I think this would be cool is because it actually has like a meter on an LCD where you can see like at what percentage it is filling. And yeah, so I like visual cues like that. So we will try it out. So I'm going to need a programmable block. We'll just slap that guy right there. And then let's add some lights to the sides over here. And where do I want to put the LCD? Yeah, we can probably just throw one right there. Okay, we'll throw an LCD right there, some lights, and we'll get this show on the road. Okay, that took me so long to figure out. So let me just cut to the chase and tell you what I did wrong. So if you decide to use this script, you don't have to make the same mistake that I made. So it's actually a really cool script. I obviously had to do a lot of research to figure out what I was doing wrong, but it was my own fault. It's not the script's fault. The main thing that you need to make sure that you do is when you label stuff for the airlock, make sure you're paying attention to the fact that the labels are case sensitive. But once I figured that out, it's actually a really cool script. So let me run you through kind of how it works. The main thing about this script is this control light right here. So I have these other lights set up to also work with it, but the main thing is this control light, because the way that you access the airlock is actually by turning on or off the light. So it makes it super simple to just set it up with a button. So this just turns off the light and this turns on the light. And that is how you pressurize or depressurize. And then it tells the vent to depressurize. And the thing about this airlock script that's actually really good that I haven't set up right now, but I will later, is in the summary of the mod, it actually talks about the fact that this is a zero air loss control system. And it works with multiple airlocks and vents and O2 generators and everything else like that. So anyway, I have two ways of which I can get out of here. One of them is obviously the sensor that I set up to look for small grids, and I have it set right at the edge of that. So we can go in and out that way. And then I also have this button panel right here, which I would never use because it would kill me. So I guess that's for future reference. But yeah, so I'm going to turn off the show sensor range on HUD, and let's just do a quick test. So we come forward, all the lights start flashing, we're gonna need some more vents because otherwise this process is just gonna take so long. And then it opens up the doors. Yeah, if this doesn't tell you how long I was working on it, it was nighttime when we remade those doors, and it is now daytime. Yeah, it took me a minute to figure out that case sensitivity thing. But there we go. Now it's pressurizing, but before I let it pressurize all the way, I'm gonna go back in actually. Cool. So we now have that set up, which is nice. I think what I'm gonna do now is, let's see. What do I wanna do now? I don't know, man. Decisions. Okay, well, while I try to figure out what exactly my next move is, I am gonna go around the outside and I'm going to add in that orange color that I wanted to, like the orange snowy color on the outside, and you can kind of see what my plan is. Because the inside is bumming me out a little bit, and so it's probably because it's really dark and I don't know which blocks I can paint from the inside. So let's go outside, paint all the stuff that we wanted to, and then see how it affects the inside, because we might have to change up a few things. Yeah, maybe that's what I need to do for the rest of this episode, because I still feel like, you know how when you move into a new place and you don't unpack your boxes and you don't really feel at home yet? That's the feeling I have right now. Like, there is even a part of me that's thinking, what if we just went back to Helgen for a second? You know, like, just get some air, I can build my ship, but that's dumb for multiple reasons. So yeah, I just need to unpack my boxes. All right, so I am fairly certain that there is a good amount of this that I did not double wall. So that means we're gonna need to go inside again and figure out how we want to handle that. Like this right here, which is not my favorite in general right now, because we don't continue these like columns all the way down. Yeah, I think that will show on the inside, and yes. I'm also thinking that I probably want to throw like one of these right there, and then like a half armor right there and close this off. But I don't have the steel plates for it right now. That will be something I do in the future. So yeah, let's go back inside and see how we're doing. Okay, so literally every wall I didn't... Man, why did I assume that I did do that? Now I look dumb. Yeah, no, every wall, if I want it to be not snow covered, would need a second layer. Yes, indeed. Man, this whole thing seemed so much bigger on the outside. That's my issue. Like, the idea of bringing it all in an additional block, it almost seems unreasonable because I already feel a little cramped. Oh man. The more I sit here, the more I realize this is not a problem that's just gonna solve itself. So I'm just gonna start slapping down some armor and see if I can make this place cool enough that I'll be like, yeah, I want to chill here for a while. My constant need for aesthetics rather than functionality. It's a curse, really. All right, well, the real bummer is I spent all that time setting up that airlock script, and now I'm going to undo it because I need to add blocks. Well, okay. Hopefully the spectator camera does not crash again. I got it loaded up, so let's just do it. Ooh, no. We are almost out of hydrogen. So I need to make a connector in here for sure. Well, it was gonna need to happen eventually, so why not now? Okay, well, there's no real easy way to do this. Wait a second. For now, you know what? For now, instead of depressurizing, which I'm going to eventually want to do, like I want to have conveyors going through here and over here. That will be a thing to do later, but I think what I'm going to do now, throw a connector right here, so that way I can recharge and not die. All right, the temporary connector is in. Let's fuel up. So this red line, you probably figured out, is going to be a conveyor So I am not greatly looking forward to having to depressurize and then try to place all those blocks. Well, placing the blocks actually isn't going to be the problem because I'll put all the components in here. The real issue is going to be grinding it all down. Yeah, that's going to be the problem. And then honestly, I think I want to have probably the connector for that thing be right. Yeah, right there looks good. So I'm going to make sure I can get in there, and yeah, then we'll go from 1 to 3 vents, and that will be nice. All right, here goes nothing. Sweet. All right, now I can finish this like pillar thing that I got going on. I want to make these windows. That's why I have them the way that they are. But I think I'll finish up this side. So I had an idea. I think rather than having another one of these big hanger gates to put in front of the Zardo connector passageway, I think I'm just gonna put the connector passageway and then a rotary airlock behind it. Because as long as I have a rotary airlock, then the passageway, and then the passageway on my ship, and then another airlock, I'll have like only 2 seconds where I'm outside. And we're already planning on having a survival kit in our next utility ship. So whatever like 7 or 14 health that I lose, I can just recharge it on the survival kit once I get in there. And I'll probably have a survival kit on the inside of this door as well. So yeah, that's the plan. Let's get to it. All right, this place isn't looking half bad. I think the last thing I need to do in order to make it feel like home is probably throw in some lights because it's super dark, and set up the airlock again, which kind of goes hand in hand with the light thing. So, alrighty, I think we got the start of a base. It's a small one for sure, but you know what? That's how we started on Helgen. A small base, not a whole lot going on. I think this one outshines that one for sure. So yeah, we have our patron boards, we have our to-do list and our done list. I don't love the medical room right here, but I'm gonna have to find a better place to put it before I get rid of it. We have 3 batteries in here now. This is the new place where my cargo comes through because I covered up this cargo container right there. And then this is going to be, right now it's nothing, but this is gonna be where I'm gonna put that connector passageway. So next time when we build our utility ship, this is where it can dock, and then I can come into the base and do whatever I need to and then go back out there. Yeah. Ooh, I should throw another railing right here. All right. This is nothing so far. I was thinking about maybe making it like some kind of bedroom or maybe just like a storage area. Maybe I'll put some oxygen vents in here since we already have conveyor right here. So, yep. Yeah. And then we have the Evermore docked in the center. You know what? I'm not hating this. I was a little lost earlier in the episode. I'm not gonna lie to you. I kind of sat there and I was like, what am I gonna do? But I'm pretty happy with the way that this has kind of come together. So I'm excited. I'm pumped for what's to come. And one cool thing, I set up my spectator camera to show this part off, but check this out. I press this button right here and all of the lights in the base do that. Okay, and let's not die. Close it, repressurize. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. There's no way I'm opening the hangar on accident and not knowing about it, which is kind of fun. I might even throw a sound block on there later. Yeah, so anyway, this is the base, and I hope you like it. So let's go over to our to-do list, and I already know that the only thing we really technically did was pressurize the base. I think I know that I need to build defenses, but I think in order to get that done, I'm gonna need this other utility ship. Well, not necessarily. This is not a now problem. This is a next time problem. So I'll figure that out later. I think the neon really sells it, you know. I think today the big lesson that I learned was that things take like 5 times longer when you don't have a spacesuit. It's not just not having a jetpack, right? Like, I have to do just such a huge ordeal of things in specific order in order to make changes. So, Yeah, this is gonna be interesting for sure. Hey, that's what we signed up for. So thank you so much for tuning in to No Suit Survival, and we'll catch you next time.